Okay, now we're live.
Hello, how you doing? We're back again. Another Wednesday evening on the smoke break with
Late
your
as
host.
usual.
Late as usual, but I don't know, stoner time, I guess. Well, for those that don't know, I am DJ Stealth,
And I'm Evie.
and tonight we have a special guest in the building. Um,
He
and hip
is
hop
the rap
certificate.
troubadour, first of all. So let's. You're already high, aren't you?
Who me? No, coming down actually. Add food.
All right, I'm sorry.
So,
Go ahead. So,
so we have the rap poet Self Suffice, Kaim Kelly, Hartford's Troubadour.
and we'd like to know more about what is a troubadour, not just what you can Google, but what are you? Because you're Hartford's troubadour, and you're kind of one of a kind.
Thank you. So that's my first question, right? Just pick it up from there. Um,
Yes, we are.
a troubadour is, I believe it's a French word, and it has something to do with expressing music and showcasing talent for large groups of people. And it's come to mean being the representative, the musical representative. So just like you have a state representative, a senator, a mayor, you have a troubadour, a musical representative for the state. They've had state troubadours for Connecticut for over a decade now. And so I've met some of these state troubadours, and they'd be like, "Oh, you should try out for a troubadour." It's like, and there's also this idea that like, being someone with more dense melanin in the skin and lots in the hair and rapping and hip hop, like we haven't had that before, but hip hop is about to be 50 next year, so maybe it's okay to have a troubadour who isn't a folk musician, and
But one who isn't singing all the time.
who isn't singing all the time, who
Somebody who's
doesn't
who
play
repres
guitar per se.
somebody who represents the city itself.
Right. But
Okay,
see, this is
okay.
the thing. The conversation was the state. So they were talking about maybe I could do this thing the state. There was no city troubadour. And then recently, I'm gonna give you the behind the scenes since this is an exclusive, just for the smoke break. All right. I'm gonna tell you
Yeah.
something nobody really knows. So first I was called to be on a panel to choose a city poet laureate. And it was like that's something that I could even be a poet laureate. And similarly, you can have a hip hop poet, right? But looking at how much talented spoken word cats there are out here, like women like Mind Evolution and Olusanya and so many in this area, I was like, I would be honored to be on that committee to help vote for someone. You know what I mean? Now, if there ends up being a rap laureate, that's more of my lane. You know what I mean? I've been studying and researching hip hop culture, freestyling and battling. Like I've been really out here. So I was on the committee. A lot of people don't know that helped elect the first ever inaugural poet laureate of Hartford. Round of
That is
applause for
awesome.
Frederick Douglass. He's been out here
Bravo.
for years doing this thing. He deserved it. But then Evie and stuff. That's when a year or two later they was like, that troubadour thing. We doing a city troubadour. Say less. I applied. Filled out the application. A year went by. 2 years went by. COVID went by. Oh, did you apply? Oh, you might have to reapply. This, that, and the third. Long story short, I get the notification. Yo, you're the troubadour. Like you're in the finals for the troubadour. There's just a couple more rounds. They discussing this. So this and that. So then it's going by more. And I'm like, wait, is this like a political thing? Is it like I passed all the walls, but someone was like, no, not him, or not a black person, or not a rapper, or not this dude, he talked too much. You know what I mean? Like, as a person of color, as someone who may be marginalized in whatever way, we always have these thoughts when you don't get that call back in a certain time. You start thinking all these things. Is it the government? Is it aliens? Is it white supremacy? You never know what it is, and that's
It's
something that
does somebody got somebody in the back door?
right, right.
So
And I say this tongue in cheek, laughingly, right? Because for people who have been in marginalized positions, you know this is part of the trauma and oppression we deal with. It's not that we're saying it's true. It's not like shout out to Ye. It's not like I'm gonna come out here and Ye the situation, like say all this, but it's like nonetheless, these thoughts are always in the back of your mind when you know you're not
am I the
necessarily the status
diversity
quo.
pick? Am I going to be,
Right.
do I have to act a certain way? Are they
Right.
going to be scared of me because they think that, I sell drugs on the side? Whatever
Right.
it is.
Exactly. That beautifully articulated. So that's the things that was going through my head. And at the end of the day, I could also equally and more likely say COVID was rough, you know, and this was a new program and it was the last thing on anybody's mind in a small city that's already dealing with so many other things. They're slipping and you falling behind on. Now you got to deal with this Troubadour thing and nobody knows what the Troubadour even is. It's like it probably it's easy to see why it got pushed back, right? But I'm just giving this for other people who might get in these positions to know, like, sometimes you just got to be patient, but it's okay because we all have the same thoughts. It's not like I'm some bougie dude that's like, yeah, you just got to wait. No, I'm like, yeah, you do have to wait, but you also get to wonder what conspiracy am I getting locked out, right? So
Yeah.
finally,
Right.
on October 18th, 2021, the Hartford Current came out with a paper. Actually, I was told someone was trying to contact me, right? And then I contacted the person back after I found out because email's horrible for me. You got to text me or send me a message, text me, DM me, so I know if there's an email to check because I can't get through all the
Yeah.
emails to this day. So they text me, hey, did this person text? So I check my email. They're like, oh yeah, Hartford Current, we're gonna interview. So I said, oh yeah, I'm already booked for that day. I can do the next day. And then that guy was like, oh, I can't do that day. We'll do another day. And I'm like, okay. Next thing you know, I see this article in the newspaper, and the article says he was unavailable for comment. I'm giving you the backstory. Like this doesn't even no one even needs to know this, but I'm giving y'all like exclusives that no one would ever
Yeah. No,
know.
I mean,
Right?
email is real hard when you're not expecting it because you got a whole bunch of them. You got Old Navy, you got this and that. So, no, you're
You
right.
feel me? And then it's like, well, no, I wasn't available right on that day because now I just found out. So I'm gonna make myself available. And it's like, okay, can you do this? But this guy's not available, and I'm available. So we got to figure out another day. You feel me? But
Yep.
instead of figuring out the other day, they wrote the article, and the article says, Kind the rap poet was unavailable for comment. And I'm like, that sentence should have said, I was unavailable when he was available, and we was unavailable. You get what I'm saying? But at the end of
Mhm.
the day, for my marginalized people, these things have, press print times and they're prioritized. So I understand that they had to publish the article, right? And at
Yeah.
the end of the day, Lael was available because they announced me as the inaugural troubadour and Lael as the inaugural first ever flow artist at the same time, which is the choreographer of the city, the person that expresses through movement, the spirit
Okay.
and our love for dance and movement in the city, which is very dope too because she does African dance, she does footlights, she does hip hop, she does these different things. So again, it's relevant to right now and diversity, right? And she handled the
Just for those that don't know, just for those who don't know, what was explained, we're referring to Leo Marie Saez, correct?
Royale,
She
also
she's
known as
she's
Royale.
the director of Footlight. She's also a company member and educator for Island Reflections, as well as a member
She's in
of my
Friends.
group
She's
Friends
in
World
Friends
Music.
World too, right?
Yes, she's a member of Friends World Music, an original dancer for Friends World Music.
And she's one of the daughters of the beautiful and multifaceted teaching artist Jetta K. LaRue.
Yep,
But we
Anne
always
Marie
have
Boyer.
to hold up her name, Anne Marie Jetta K. LaRue. When you talk about artists in Hartford, you got to shout out the sister, you know. But that Lael is one of her daughters.
Everybody in Hartford, it's like has a talent. If you're not a poet, you're a dancer. If you're not a dancer, you're a rapper. If you're not a rapper, you're a DJ. If you're not a DJ, you're a singer.
Hmm.
So Hartford has a very rich culture of, you know, artists and of art in itself.
As they
So
say, Hartford has it, right?
yeah.
Still
So you being
underappreciated by the powers
troubadour,
that be of the state, but we're working on it.
you being troubadour really just you being yourself is really representing the city. So it's amazing that you
Yeah,
bring your authentic self into the role.
I
Why
hear
do you
you.
think you do that?
That's really what it's about. Like, so on October 18th, they announced me as a troubadour, they announced Lael. But then like a few days later, I got a meeting like, oh, you gotta meet with the city council. That's the last step. So it's like, even though I've been announced to the local world, after 3 years going back and forth, wait, am I the troubadour? Am I not? Apparently, I still wasn't the troubadour, but I've been announcing the news of the troubadour. So it's like this other hurdle. So now it's more conspiracies in my head. Like, wait, this is gonna be embarrassing if I'm not the troubadour. But we had the meeting. They heard what I had to say. They looked at my credentials and everything. They're like, okay, we'll get back to you. And then they was like, yeah, you the troubadour. So that was a year ago. And then I had one of the first things I did was I had an interview with Ann Nyberg in New Haven. And this kind of answers the question that Evie was just asking, like just being yourself, right? What's the importance of just being yourself beyond this title and stuff like that? First of all, the first thing I posted on Twitter, and I think it's still pinned on my thing, but I said, when you get recognized for something you've been doing for years, for a long time, does it mean it's time to relax and step back and celebrate? Or does it mean it's time to do it that much harder? And
That's
so
Stop
what
true.
the
I
order.
did, I took a moment to relax and post, make these posts and say, hey, here's my news article. Hey, I'm the troubadour here and there. But then I also realized I've been doing this. So now that I'm recognized for doing what I do, I just got to do it that much harder. I got to do it as if the next generation that comes to this position and this opportunity, I'm paving a way for them where they could understand it a little bit more and know that they can, like Evie said, be yourself. So when I was on the interview with Ann Nyberg, WTNH, that's the thing, and I think it's Channel 8 over there. But I said, if you don't know that you can be a troubadour, or you don't know you could get awards from the state or different accolades, I got calling all brothers, I got an award here, a plaque. Like, if you don't have these ways to get recognized for your talent as a hip hop artist or whatever you do that's not considered status quo, then you might just be trying to go for a Billboard or a Grammy. And I don't mean that a Billboard or Grammy is bad. I would love to get a Billboard or Grammy. But I mean, if that's the only thing you're going to, then you might not rap about yourself and your community and your life. You might not think that's valuable. You might just be rapping about the latest car that came out, the latest drip this out, and even the content and lifestyle of someone else, because you're like, that's my ticket to be a rapper or a dancer or famous or have clout, right? So that's what I think is the importance of me rapping about the environment, rapping about civil rights activists, rapping like I did at the meeting where I met you, where it's like the tenants are on the way out, and it's like, okay, the mic is off for 10 minutes while they clear out. And I'm like, wait, I wanna rap with my peoples with protesting the slumlord landlords. Like, this is, I'm the troubadour of Hartford. This is real. Now we gonna get that, and then I could do like the trees in Hartford and the lake. It's like, no. So you see what I did? I just jumped in the crowd with y'all. I'm like, you know what I mean? Protesting against the extermination and the gentrification.
Yeah.
That was like the
You
best
speak to
crowd
the
I could have
crowd.
had. Come on now. That, I don't think that was my mistake. That was, and they said the city council hadn't been packed like that, like in like 3 years. You know what I mean? So the fact that y'all was in there protesting and talking about the issues that people in Hartford face, as your troubadour was there, I'm like, no, I'm not gonna wait for them to leave and then be like, I'm your troubadour, blah blah blah. I'm like, I'm gonna rap with my people about like what's going on. So that was dope. And then of course, like they turned the mics on, and then I did my presentation as a troubadour. Um, but that's what I think you can do as a person. And if you're an artist, you can do it even better because you can find creative ways to relate to people where regular day-to-day conversation ain't getting the point across. And as a hip hop artist, even better, because instead of just doing your dancing, your rapping, whatever, in hip hop, we have the principles peace, love, unity, and safely having fun. So now you know you're reminding people that no matter how what my drip is or what my talent is or how exciting it looks what I'm doing, at the end of the day, it's about us in the cipher. That's the gift that we
Right.
got from hip hop. Whatever talent I have is to remind you of what you can do, that it's okay for you to be you in the space. Whether you protesting slumlord landlords or whether you just chilling. You know what I mean? Either way, you're part of the cipher. You're not excluded from the cipher. And then hopefully that's what I'm bringing to the troubadour position. That the next troubadour can bring what we do, whether they're hip hop artists or not. They can bring that same element of like be comfortable with the beautiful diversity of Hartford and just make other people feel like they can, like Evie said, be yourself.
Right.
Love that. All right, so we got to cut for a commercial break real quick. When we come back, we'll have more with the rap poet, Hartford's Troubadour. All right, and here we go.
Practicing and living in community means that we're responsible to ourselves and others. It means that we're committed to engaging humbly and bravely with others who we may not agree with, but who share a similar worldview. Tensions and conflicts are gifts that allow us to grow together. Join our peaceful revolution.
All right, make sure to check out Kimura's Cultural Corner, one of our sponsors, for $3.
Love Kimura.
And for $3 a month, you can help the peaceful revolution. All right.
Yet another community connection that me and So Suffice have been connected to for years.
And see, the
So-
$3 a month, what that equals up to is $36 a year. And you gotta understand, 36 is the 360 degrees. You know what I mean? Even if you want to take it to $30 a month, now you have a full circle. So coming back to revolution, a revolution is 360 degrees. You understand? Now you have the power of the universe within you, and you shine in 360 degrees like the planet orbiting around the sun. And now you actually have a revolution coming back to the $3 a month. That's not too much. That's the easiest revolution we ever had in history for Kimura's Cultural Corner.
I love that.
Now that's a fucking plug.
That really is.
I hope she hears that. That was for you. That was exclusive.
She always watches it like the day after because she has her community conversations right before us.
So
Yeah.
I love Kimura. She really out here.
You've performed at Kimura's before, right?
Yeah, I mean when she started at the at Kabbalah House. Remember we was at Kabbalah House?
Yeah.
I met her after.
There's a couple venues where we would just have places where people would be scared or unsafe to go, and late at night. And really, what it is the youth that was out there didn't have places to go a lot of times. So we would have these places. We did Zandos for a year. We did Choppers for a couple years, and then we did the Kabbalah House. So shout out to Iba Zero and Swan and the whole family. Love that whole family. But they created the space, and we just had a free open mic. You could walk in and be yourself, dance, crazy dance ciphers, DJing, MCing, freestyle ciphers, singers, all that type of stuff. And then Kimura, they were looking for someone to like take over the space, and Kimura was the first person to come and use the space. And there was no one better who we could have seen go in that space. And then I think after that, she moved to the outside garden space where she's at now.
Yeah, I know it's been a transition for her, but it's been beautiful. So I remember when it was all, it had trash all over it and it was all vacant and everything.
Mhm.
So
I attended I attended the mental health piece to chemistry Kamali. I attended the mental health joint where it was just like anybody could come and get on the open mic. Backpack was in the building. We performed. Shout out to Backpack. Before I go further, let me just say Backpack has a single coming out October 28th. So y'all gotta stream that on the BLM 860 and the smoke break. All right, October 28th.
if wait, so if you were there, then I streamed you too, because
Okay.
streamed you guys a Marquise.
Yes. A Marquis was there.
Wow, I
Yep.
don't even remember you guys being there,
Yeah.
but I filmed all
Yeah.
the artists.
So this is so we're on your Facebook page and your Twitter now?
Yeah, so you
Yes,
guys are
we are.
on
Okay.
from back then. That's crazy.
Okay. 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 Y'all
So you
gotta
guys might
rewind
be on
and
the
see the
Instagram. I'm not
episode.
sure. So I was filming on a couple different platforms that day.
You really out here, Evie. I'm so glad that you doing this with my homie stuff. Like you're just a great person. Now, mind you, for people listening, I've known Stealth since my origin story in Hartford, like from the beginning, from the first things I ever hosted. You know how I first started hosting? I was invited to an open mic and they were calling people up, and then like they ran out of people, and I was like, I'll go again. And then they were like, "Yo, can you just do a few more?" Like people start. They was like, and they was like, "Could you host this like every week?" That's how I started hosting. And Steph was right there. Steph used to be out there with
Yeah,
the drums till 2 in the morning. Remember, we left the
yeah.
venue closed and we go out in the cobblestone Pratt and Trumbull for another
Right in
two
the middle
hours.
of Pratt Street.
That's
So
wild.
is it
And that was before it was a
Xando's
trendy, popular spot, right? Tell the
Yes.
truth.
So
Tell the truth.
Xando's location was the original location for the Russell. The Russell came after Xando's. So this, no one really knows this, but this is the reason why the Russell always had coffee beans in the door handles, because Xando's was a coffee shop.
Oh,
So I'm 18-year-old me, no dreads, braids in my hair, trumpet in hand. This is only a couple of weeks after Suffice started hosting. He wasn't Suffice yet. He was just Kaim from Trinity College. Then I walk in there, and one of the creators of the open mic says, "You want to go up?" I said, "I got nothing." Said, "Try something." I went up. I don't even know what the hell I said, but the audience liked it, and I came back faithfully every single Monday afterwards. It was
And
me,
rest in peace to Hazard,
my,
my
my,
brother
my best friend
DeAndre
DeAndre.
Passy,
He passed away in 2017.
super
Um,
talented producer. Cole
Miss
Hartford
Leo Marie
too.
Saez was there. We had a couple of our friends coming in. That's
Rest
where
in
I met
peace to Ellie.
Olusanya for the first time. I met Margot Hayes for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Krishna Miles Hayes, her son. I
And remember,
Morati
you know what's funny
Amarema.
about this convo? You remember what I used to call Krishna?
What is
I
it you
used to
call
call
him?
I used to call Krishna the poet laureate of Hartford. You see? Before Harvard actually ever had an actual poet laureate, I used to always say the poet laureate. I was thinking about this 10 years before it was a real thing.
One of the most
Shout out to
creative minds
Tyrone
you
Wolf.
ever heard. It's one of those you had to be there to witness that greatness.
Hmm.
Krishna Miles does not perform anymore. He's somewhere out in the universe, somewhere in Hartford, and I hope
Love
he
to Krishna.
comes across this video. But
Love to,
Christian Miles Hayes was a fucking genius on with the pen and pad.
yeah. He was the first person who I called the poet laureate of Hartford. That's a fact. And I don't think anybody who has seen him and witnessed him would dispute that, even though it wasn't an official title back then. And rest in peace to Ellie. Ellie is the sister that like originally organized and ran the open mic and really asked me along with another brother. I believe his name was Brian. Brian or Ryan. But anyway, that's just to say, like, we be out in the streets. It wasn't cool. It wasn't trendy yet. People wasn't talking about Hartford had it. But we knew, like Eve was saying, we knew the talent. And we said, regardless We're not getting paid off this. We just gonna create this space where if you're an artist, you could come out. We be playing the drums and everything. And it wasn't really a matter of the police coming out because one, people wasn't even messing with Hartford like that. Like the bougie people, they wasn't like doing the real estate yet. So they didn't want to be in Hartford late at night. You feel me? So therefore the police wasn't trying to stop us from playing our drums and being on the street. It was like, you know how it is. It's like some people got, if they get hurt and they hurt each other, whatever, you know. But we just started this
Closes at
thing.
12. We're out there till 2:30 in the morning. Still
Facts,
singing, still rapping, beatboxing, playing
facts,
sticks on the mailbox, everything.
facts. And that's why I say now that I'm the Hartford Troubadour, I have the title of Hartford Troubadour. It's not like something that I'm starting to do because someone gave me a title. You feel me? It's something I've been doing in my heart and soul. And it's like, oh, it's cool to have a title to do this now. You get what I'm saying? But like I said, October 18th, 21st, I was in the news article after applying 3 years before that due to COVID, everything. And then even after I got the yo, my cat is wild strong. There's a
What?
door that we close and it's like a sliding door to keep the cat away from the door. This cat moves the door. You ever see a cat do things that they think you're not looking and they do things you think only humans could do?
Yeah, my
Yeah.
cat knows how to open the doors, so
And you be like, you realize I saw that, right? I saw you do that. Like my other cat too, she'll take a pause like this and drink water. You know how cats are supposed to just lick water out the thing? I see her when she think we're not looking. She'll go up and take a handful and drink water. I'm like,
Really?
I you I you might have been here before, Star. I'm watching you. Like, don't think I don't know. Y'all ain't what we think you are. But anyway, so the year later was when you met me. Keep in mind, it's October, a year later. 10/10/11/2022 is the day that I met Evie. That was the day that they officially told me to come into the city council for the first time as the official Hartford Troubadour. This is after I applied for 3 years, got the thing, wasn't sure if I got it, later on the month got it, and then a year later was formally invited to be it. So this is actually my second year now as Troubadour, and I
oh
have one
wow.
more year in a 3-year term. But this year is the year where you see me on BLM 860, you see me in the city council. Like it's time for me to be on Instagram, TikTok, and just basically it's my responsibility, like I said, to let people know what you can do as a person, as a Hartford citizen, as a hip hop artist, as a marginalized person.
Have you created a Wikipedia article yet to share?
No, I did try to log into Wikipedia and got overwhelmed, and I was like, damn, I got other things to do. I don't have time for this right now. I need
I can probably help you out with it, man. You got a wealth of
thank
history.
I
Yeah.
would greatly appreciate that, yo.
Yeah. Let me know when you're gonna sit down with him because I could help too. I gotta help Mikey at the same time.
Okay. Can we do that very soon?
Yes, definitely.
Like I would like that done. Like voting is in November, right? So I need to vote for myself more. Let's say we need to elect me a Wikipedia page to officiate me by the end of
Definitely.
November.
Because
Right?
you're an
Tangs has a
elected position.
Tank Sauce has a Wikipedia page,
Okay.
so
Oh, so why
it's
hasn't
fine.
he applied to get
Is that the one
he
yourself?
can actually he can get a blue check mark then.
Yes, he can.
What does the blue check mark do?
It
I've
lets
been
people
waiting
know
to
that
ask
it's your
somebody
real
about this.
page.
So
It
what?
makes you official.
Yeah, it means that now your page can't be copied.
Oh, you listening to my radio show? Mwah. Shout out my baby. And I heard my Wikipedia page. I'm like, okay, people's listening. No, but so why does that matter? And
Because
talk to me like I'm dumb about this, because I'm gonna tell you a secret. I literally am dumb about this. You could be smart about some things and dumb about others. So I fully embrace. I've been hearing about this for a long time, and the purpose of me being on a smoke break BLM 860, I'm finally gonna understand why does it matter that someone says you have an official validated
All right,
blue.
I'll break it down for you.
so
A check mark.
for me, it means that you're an official page now. This is now you are
So
officially the Rap Troubadour. You are officially part of the Backpack. You are officially this person, and no one else can pretend to be you.
how it breaks
You
down
have a platform,
in a
so
cultural aspect of things and media end of things. The blue check mark basically puts you on a totally different radar as far as gaining followers and the scope of how broad your message can be put out.
you do have a platform.
And you know what this reminded me of? How they have non the non fungible art, the
Yeah.
NFT tokens. It's like, okay, you went to write down Evie, and they said, nope, you can't write down Evie. We already got the real Evie. You don't have Evie's email, right? Okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
Like something like
You
that.
hear the part where I was talking about the cat opening the door?
it helps protect you and your platform. Yo, when you
So it's
hide,
helpful for
bananas
protection.
are good as hell. Do you smoke?
I feel like I'm getting high off of just being on this Zoom. Like, is it possible to get contact through the internet? Y'all is like,
I, I don't
y'all
know.
are hilarious. The vibe in here is crazy.
Mm.
No, my brother Kareem is addicted to rhyme books.
Wait, so I get to come back here every year, right?
You get to
Yes.
come back every time you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever you want to. And we definitely got to work on your Wikipedia page, though, so we can make sure that you're Rap Troubadour again or whatever it is.
Yes, and my Instagram. I don't know if it has a blue check or not, but my Instagram is RapPoet, rap poet.
I think we
Um,
follow you.
so you follow me, and October 28th, my bro Clockwise, my bro Tang Sauce, my bro Hydro, we have combined into one song that's dropping. It's called The Boom, because it's the beginning of you getting the backpack. It's like the big bang, the
Do you
boom.
have like
But
an
it's also like,
Instagram post or anything for it yet, or a
yeah,
flyer?
yeah, 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 yeah. We've been posting it in our story. It's got the cover art and everything.
Nice.
It's fancy. It's official.
So I'll make sure to grab that and share it.
Thank you. But nah, I just been blabbing about like how I met Stealth and when he was in Cold Hearts Entertainment and everything before, and so now you know some of the behind the scenes, like my thoughts and my anxiety about being Troubadour and everything. But you basically know what I do. Like I go in schools every day, like colleges. Like shout out to UHeart. I was just in UHeart. I'm gonna be at Domingo this week on October 23rd on the corner of
Nice.
Main and Albany, where the CRT building is or used to be,
Mm-hmm.
not far from Capitol Prep. And
Well,
we just
that's my
shut.
neck of the woods.
Yep, that's your hood. And we shut down Park Street a couple weeks ago. Now we shutting down the whole Main Street, and you're just gonna have dancers and MCs, and it's free for everybody just to celebrate Hartford. So please come out to that October 23rd. Don't try to drive through because the streets are shut down. But
If
please
you got
come
a
out.
bike, a scooter, rollerblades, skateboard, something, you get
Something else.
get a Mint scooter app. Get down there.
Facts.
Don't
And
drive.
Link
That's
scooter.
that's the whole point.
but that's what I do. Like that's what I'm blessed to be able to do. Like just like how I met Evie, like just be able to pull up and speak in a in a
Yeah, I
poetic
was
way.
shocked to see you there. So I was excited to find out when you were explaining what you were. I'm like, oh my God, we have a rap troubadour.
Right.
So,
And it's
'cause-
great. The only issue I say, right, it's like, damn, I should be in the city. We should be making sure that you knew this already, right? So your podcast is doing this tonight. Like, I need to be more proactively letting people know, like, we have a troubadour, you know?
yeah,
Maybe I need a podcast.
that'd be pretty dope if you did. So I'd watch it.
We would
Okay.
definitely support.
Okay. That's what I need to hear. Thank you.
All right. So we are actually over right now. Assad, did you have anything?
Okay, so my $1 million question would just extend this to another hour because me and Suffice are with hip hop. My $1 million question for every guest on on this show is, who is your all time favorite rapper or rap group?
Okay. We only got a minute, right? So no super deep.
So look, just answer. We'll deal with it over time.
Yeah, we
Okay.
will.
Of all time, I'm gonna say the most high creator of the universe, God, Hashem, Elohim, Eloheinu. Um, I think like many artists do, who are not just doing it as a fad or a trend for a year, but like feel like I'm doing this for life. It's not like, oh, you still rapping? Like, I'm gonna be doing this for life because I'm trying to get closer to the Most High, my Creator. And I think the reason why people use the Bible to justify racism and these sacred texts and all these religions fight each other is because they don't understand that God is the ultimate MC. Once you understand whatever you do to the most high level, you understand the creator better. So, like, if you understood that the Bible has multiple jokes and meanings and poetry in it, then you be able to fix your bars up right. You get what I'm saying? That's why people go,
Yeah.
no, God said this, God said this, the Bible means this.
The
Yeah,
Book of
all of
Psalms.
that. See? See? And with a sense of humor too. Sense of humor. You know, how many of us would still be alive if we didn't develop a sense of humor? How many of us would be able to debate with people that are not being them best selves or being vessels of oppression? But at the same time, we see the God in them and we see the humanity in them. That's not just a simple, like, intellectual. Like, if you think about that, it'll make you mad. It'll make you crazy. It'll make you hurt people or yourself. But if you have a sense of humor, it means you can see contradictions in things. You can see paradoxes in things. You can love someone and hate what they're doing. That's God. You get what I'm saying? And the lineage is like, I definitely recognize Abio doing in the Last Poets, because before it was even called hip hop, they was out here rapping to the drums. You know what I mean? Amiri Baraka, Sonia Sanchez, uh, Maya Angelou, um, you know, Gil Scott Heron coming out of the Last Poets family tree, you know, and then you got KRS-One and Common, and I won't keep going down down the tree, but I think when I'm trying to be the best MC I can be, I'm just trying to be closer to the Most High. I think you could use words to a high level, and you could start to understand like humor and double meanings, and people can see the same bar from different perspectives, and that's okay. Just like we could all see our purpose on the same planet from different perspectives.
I love that.
Thank you for letting me go way left with that.
No, we that was the best answer anyone could. All right, you win. Best answer ever. Best answer ever. Because
Grateful.
it,
Appreciate
as an artist, I understand the concept, and now I'm thinking I've touched that point on many occasions throughout my life and career.
Mm-hmm.
So now I need to work on going further on myself.
That's right. And again, a lot of this stuff we do for the next generations, right? So like if you're telling the next generation, oh, be like that person, and they get locked up or they get shot or they lose their record deal, and that's the end, like that's what you're telling young people to do. But if you're telling people, look, I've been doing this for like almost maybe 2 decades, and I still feel like I'm just beginning, right? I'm not, when I say like God level, I'm not talking about, like, no disrespect, but I'm not talking about like Ye or Jay-Z Hove. I'm talking about Hove for real. You know what I mean? Like you will never ever be done mastering your craft until you could spit a rhyme so dope that air is able to be purely breathed for 6 billion people on the earth. Until you write that song, you got more work to do. You know what I mean? Like it's not about just a Grammy. Like if you can just think more, just think what you can do. Don't look at other people's expectations of you, you know. And that's why I did the verse with the brothers and sisters protesting at City Hall, because it's like I'm not here just to like, okay, you're here to rap for the council and show them that you are a rapper in Hartford. Like, no, what can I do with my presence here? Why did God put me here today in the middle of this protest? Now I walk away feeling like, oh, I did what God put me here to do with my skill. That's what y'all want to do. I think that's what we want to tell younger artists to do with their skill. Like, develop your craft to where you can tap into what's happening, regardless if people told you to do it. It's the right thing to do.
Definitely.
Like letting y'all get some sleep. I know. I know that's the thing to do right
I'm
now.
high as hell right now.
I appreciate y'all having me here so much. Thank
I didn't even relight it. I just had to listen on this set. So I mean,
Look at
I
that
want
smoke
to
in your car. I don't want to hear that shit.
Huh?
Look at that smoke in your car.
Oh yeah, the hot box.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a beautiful crowd when I get out.
All right. Well, you have a good night. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for welcoming me to the cipher. Love y'all.
All right. Love you too.
Happy Hump Day and everything to all the watchers. October 28th. Look out for us.
All right.
Alrighty.
Good night.
Peace.